Hi, Si here from MusicRadar. I'm joined once again by Si Truss, future music editor.
Hi.
Today we're going to take a look at Teenage Engineering's latest offering, the new Pocket Operators.
Yep.
These are making up what is now being dubbed the Metal series.
Yeah, which is like the third run of Pocket Operators. We looked at the Tonic a while ago, last year, which is their one that works with Microtonic, the plugin.
Yeah.
Then you've got two more added to that series. Thing about the Metal series is they add little microphones on top, which allow them to do different things. So Tonic could share presets with the plugin Microtonic.
Yep.
And now we've got two more. One which is a sampler, one which is a vocal synth.
So as we thought with the microphone, they'll be utilising that technology to do what we'd hoped. So yeah, sampling and recording it for voice mangling. We're going to take a look at the KO first.
Yep. So the KO is the little 4-voice sampler.
Yep.
So let's basically start sampling a few things, building up a little beat, and see how this works.
Two ways to go to sampling.
Yep. So the mic, as we've mentioned, we can just record using the mic like that.
Yeah.
There's also the audio input, the mini jack here, which let's use that for a start.
Okay.
We've got basically iMachine coming from my phone. We're going to record straight into the PO here.
Yeah.
So there's two types of sample tracks on here. There's melodic tracks, which mean samples can be played chromatically.
Yeah.
And then there's the drum tracks. And what these do is they work as a kind of sample slicer. Okay. So basically, if we record a slightly longer bit of a sample, we can then slice that across the 16 steps. So let's have a little look at how to do that. Let's start with a little drum sound. The way we're going to do this, we hold down record, hold down drum sound, we'll go. So there we go, we've got a few different
so that's
little
just
drum sounds.
Instantly mapped it into
different... so if we go across here, you see we've kind of got it sort of roughly slices things up.
And it's a bit quieter as well.
It's a bit quiet, so
the monitoring level was a lot louder.
So we can tweak a few things by pressing effects here, and we've got a few parameters. In tone here, we can turn the volume up.
Okay. Oh, that's cool.
So there we go. So what we've also got, so in tone, we can turn volume up. We can also tweak the pitch. Then we've got a filter. So there's a sort of DJ style bi-directional high-low pass filter with resonance in there as well. And then you've got trim. So trim in the beat slicer here, this basically allows us, we can go through different steps in our sound. So, and then trim allows us to basically move. Start and end points, so we can have a bit of adjustment on the length.
Okay.
Shut up. Yeah, so we can adjust the length, and we can adjust. It's really fiddly to do. Yeah, as you can see.
But you can.
There's a bit of things.
There, yeah.
So basically, let's get a little bit of a beat going here. So we got a bit of a kick on our first slice here. We've got the 16-step sequencer here, like all the POs do. Yeah. And then you can kind of chain sequences together to make longer songs and stuff. Let's make something really basic. We hit right, we go into step sequencer mode. Because our last sound we played was that first slice, that kick sound, these steps we put in are going to be the kick. Yeah. Now if we go out of this and then let's find another sound, this sort of hat sound here. Yeah. Since that's the last thing, if we go into right now.
Now we'll put that,
So we can. Now let's get something melodic going over the top of that.
Okay.
So let's go out of our sequencer mode. So these first 8 slots are melodic slots. Yeah. And that means that instead of slicing the sample, instead we get a sound that we can play chromatically using the keys here. So let's just pause that a second just so we can hear what we're doing. So we've got a little melodic sound here. And you can hear we've now got this. We can, in the trim, we can change our start point like that. Yeah, and then in the tone, we can change the actual pitch itself.
Okay, yeah.
So if we want to have something really pitched up, then we can use that. We've also got volume again, make it a nice little bit louder, and then we've got this filter. Let's have a little play and let's record something using this melodic thing. So we've got some steps programmed in here, but I think actually let's get rid of these steps. Let's sort of record this live. So out of right mode. And what we can do is hold record.
Okay.
Hold right, sorry, not record.
So holding down right. Or
holding down right there rather than... you'll notice, the thing about these POs, it's quite easy to get confused on what you're pressing with what buttons. So if
and the buttons, you can sometimes accidentally press them, or when you think you're holding them, you just double click them. And
so we've got that in. Let's go back into our filter here. So in the sound, go into the filter, and we can write in a little filter sweep.
Okay.
Put some resonance. And because we've done that holding down right, we've now got that parameter locked, so we've basically got some automation. So we've got a nice little filter sweep going. As we said, we can also sample from the microphone.
Okay, let's do that.
Let's have a little play doing that. So again, sampling is the exact same thing. Let's add a little percussive sound. Again, I just hold down record, hold down thing, and go. Bit of a weak finger click there. Let's try. Yeah, not exactly great. Let's try that again.
Oh, good. You multi-click. Okay, do it with one hand.
Let's let's filter that. Maybe a bit less resonance. What should we do? Trim's probably all right. Tone. Let's take the volume down. It's quite loud. And then now, let's we can just chuck that into our sequence here.
Okay. Yep.
Cool. So it's actually really easy to build up this little beat. Like I said, it's a bit fiddly. Quite easy to press wrong buttons. Quite easy to get a bit lost when you're dealing with what's laid out there. But it's kind of fun and kind of easy. Again, as with other POs, we've got the digital effects, which are always a kind of highlight from these. So we can add those by if we hold down effects and then. So various things from like filter sweeps to.
And they're all rolls,
and then we can clear those by holding 16.
Yeah. Each PO's got its own sort of different FX set, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
and the effects that you use are always kind of quite nicely designed to work well. And we can record those in, clear them. We've got 16 patterns here, so we're on one pattern here. We can obviously there's loads of different pattern slots. I think I've cleared everything. There we go. So we can jump around our patterns, go back to our one we were just working on. There we go. And we can chain them up.
Chain those together.
So there's quite a lot of flexibility. It is, as with all these POs, a bit fiddly. It's not the most flexible sampler in the world because one thing that's slightly annoying with this is there's no way to like solo or mute sounds.
All right,
so if say with that, like we've made that cool thing and I now want to get that into a DAW, I can't say, let's mute the drum sound so I can record the melodic sound or something. I mean, there's ways you can work around it. You can copy patterns to other things and delete things and stuff, but it's a bit fiddly. You can sync, as with all the POs, there's the sync option, so we can sync them up using pulse sync to other POs or anything that sounds at a pulse signal. And they have kind of audio through, so we can have audio running either from like a phone or from another audio input or from another PO and run that through while we're playing at the same time. So there is like that little bit of flexibility, but it's not the most flexible sample in the world. It's what this is cool for basically is sitting around playing with some cool little sounds, jamming some little hooks or something. Something it's going to inspire cool little ideas. It's not exactly something flexible enough to build a whole track on. I mean, you could build a track. Well, I remember when we were talking to Teenage Engineering at NAMM, they were talking about playing gigs with just a POs, so like.
And it can be done. And if you subscribe to the
ecosystem,
thank you very much. Get those words out of my head.
Yep.
Everything's in there. You've got a lot of stuff to make actual tunes out of. There's,
so as with all the POs, you get the screen which has got the kind of cool cartoony graphic on it. You do get some like feedback. You get a clock, which is quite always nice. And you get bits of sort of basic parameter feedback.
But there's nothing to kind of really tell you what's going on. If you were just to look at the screen, you'd be like, I don't know what that means. It's just a nice fancy animation.
I mean, where you get like little bits of parameter feedback as we're moving parameters here.
That's handy.
And you kind of get BPM and things like that, and swing. But you know, it's not the deepest thing.
It's the cool little. What are they doing? Having a little boxing match.
Little boxing match on this one. So yeah, KO is cool. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the most useful tool in the world.
Okay, so moving on to the PO-35. This is the Speak.
Yes, the Speak. So of these two new ones and possibly the whole range, this is my favourite so far.
All right,
because it can do some very cool things.
Okay.
Cool. So like we said, this is a vocal synth. It's probably easiest to just dive in and show you what it does.
Okay.
So like the KO, we can sample. We can sample through the mic or through the audio input. Let's sample something through the mic. Future. 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 Hear my voice sounding particularly gorgeous there.
It's lovely.
So what we've done.
It's mapped out chromatically.
Yeah, we've sampled voice, mapped out chromatically. Future. One cool touch here is that what we can do is we can re-trigger our sound chromatically by pressing different notes on here, or we can shift without restarting the sample by going future,
okay.
which is quite nice.
Yeah.
So what's going on here? So basically, this is a vocal synth. So it is taking that sample and it is processing it through one of 8 onboard voice modes.
Right.
Which we access by holding effects. So in neutral, we've got this, and we've got auto tune.
Okay.
We've got retro, noise, robot, fifth. So where we're getting, you can hear.
Yeah.
A vocoder, and then finally a vocal synthesizer.
Oh, cool.
So 8 different voices. Again, we've got a 16-step sequencer, the whole same setup as the other POs. 16 steps, can change some stuff. If we hit right here, we can put in a few steps.
Okay.
Again, we've got parameters we can change. So we've got trim again, which allows us to change the speed and start point. Again, we can parameter unlock these. We've also got tone, which gives us this formant parameter, which is quite nice for just tweaking sound. It also gives us pitch.
Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah. So it's very similar to the melodic part on that.
Yeah, fairly similar to what's going on. So we've got 15 sound slots. So obviously we've recorded one word there. Let's stick another one in the second slot. That's music. Again, that sounds really good.
See what we did there?
Yeah, you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
So let's pop that in there. Let's play with this. And we can even record voice changes in here.
Okay, so that you can run that as well. Oh, okay. And then you can do effects on top of that.
Yeah, so all the other POs have 16 digital effects. We only get 8 here because basically the top 8 effect slots are for these voice modes.
Okay.
And then we also get so slow down effect, kind of trance gate type thing, stutter.
Was that a sweep as well?
It does, and you've got this build up thing.
Okay,
Which is quite cool.
Yeah.
And then you've got kind of rolls and a reverse and re-trigger it, reverse, and then the 16th slot here just clears all our effects.
Clears all your effects out,
Yeah, so we've got as I said, 15 slots here for sampling. Each slot can have up to 8 seconds of recording.
Yeah.
You can't layer the different. You can't layer different samples on top of each other. So basically, what you've got here is you've got 2 voices.
Mm-hmm.
One voice is your vocal synth, which is what we've been playing here.
Yeah.
This 16th slot here is our other voice, and this is basically a drum voice, which is 1 track worth of drum sounds, which are the same as those found on the tonic here.
Yeah,
so those microtonic drum sounds.
Yeah.
And like with the tonic, if you remember that, you can send sounds to and from using the microphone and that sort of
do the transferring.
that 90s
the modem,
dial-up modem type thing.
Yeah.
You can transfer sounds to this as well.
Oh right, cool.
Which is and so you can replace those drum sounds.
Yeah.
But we get a built-in kit, so we can, sequence. And have a little. So obviously it's just one channel, so we can't have multiple drum sounds going on each step. But it does give us a nice little thing to play around with creating beats.
Gives itself a little self-contained groove box thing going on.
Yeah, again we've got a lot of the same things that we can play around with. We've got BPM with swing. We've got 16 patterns available. We can chain up to, I think it's up to 128 or something patterns, which is basically just by holding it down and just pressing them in order. Yeah. So you can make a full song.
It's quite a lot of pressing to do to get 128.
And then we can record.
Yeah.
And really start messing up sounds.
Yeah. As with all the other ones, you can keep do the
But yeah,
things.
So we've kind of just been playing around at the moment with sampling short little things with the mic.
Yeah.
For me, this is particularly cool for when you want to start grabbing like longer bits of vocal stuff from maybe spoken word things or like vocal acapellas and stuff. Yeah. And actually, it becomes really handy. You can kind of see yourself building like vocal hooks from little snatches of like found voice stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
You can, as you said, record through the audio input. As a little demo of what you could do, I'm going to do arguably the most meta thing on the internet, and we're going to vocal sample our last Teenage Engineering PO video here.
Was it that one?
It was. This is a video of us talking about the tonic.
Mine's melting already.
So if we just cool little esoteric synth plugin, and recognise those voices.
There we are.
He's actually been developing this with teenagers.
So there we go. So
this Listrum, isn't it? And he's actually been developing this Listrum, isn't it?
So there we go. A nice little recording of you talking about the
maker, Magnus Lindstrom, of course. Yeah. You get a double hit.
So yeah. So in our trim here, we can adjust where we're starting that from.
Yeah.
This whole vocal phrase. Let's turn this up a little bit so we can just hear it a bit better.
This with this with this with this with.
So and then we can. So let's put our start.
And he's actually been developing this with.
So obviously, it's probably not going to be the hook to our next big techno banger, but
no.
And
but you can see where you can start
where you can start basically grabbing just bits of vocals bits of talking, bits of whatever, kind of slice it up, and you could quite easily build whole tracks worth of vocal hooks with this and just playing around. So yeah, for my money, this is probably the most useful pocket operator.
Feels like your most useful one. Yeah, okay.
I'm quite pro pocket operator anyway. You always get whenever you talk about these on the internet, you always get people kind of saying how much they are just toys, and they're kind of, which look, they are not the most flexible things in the studio. As much as they've got like cool little things you can do, they are very much just for sort of messing about. But
they're quite lo-fi as well.
They're pretty lo-fi.
Yeah.
They're fiddly. There's quite a lot of getting your head around what the hell they're doing at any one point and not being able to work it out. The amount of
because all of them are different.
What you haven't seen in this video is the amount of times we've had to stop this because we keep getting confused about what buttons doing what and why things doing. So
could have sworn Matt did that earlier.
But saying all of that, like since even the first ones came out, I've always really liked these as cool little things to just create odd sounds that you can then sample later in tracks. Like if you're just making weird hits or you're making like one-shot things. So they're
affordable enough to be part of like a wider arsenal of things. So, I mean, having them all.
Yeah, as cool little noise generators, they definitely have a place in a studio workflow. And they're a lot of fun. And for the price, I think they're 85 quid for these Metal Series ones, and then another 25 if you want the Pro case, which is pretty reasonable for something that you'll probably generate quite a lot of cool little sounds out of. Exactly. Like I said, for me, Speak is the one that's
the one
has the most uses.
Yeah.
I could see people building whole tracks out of like little vocal things.
It's nice to see them making full use of the microphone technology, like we hope they would.
Yeah.
With the sampling thing, it's doing as it should. Cool. Well, thanks for that, Si. Okay, so don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share wherever you're seeing this video right now. Head on over to MusicRadar.com for the latest news, reviews, and tutorials. And of course, Future Music Magazine is on sale now. It's always on sale, so go out and get one now. All right? So cheers.
Thanks.